go, baby. You guys ready? You guys ready? Let's go. We are live. Thanks everyone for being here on another week, a special edition. I am Solar Joe, and we are coming live from the Solar Objections Facebook group, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And we have an amazing guest or guest today. We have Christy Coonrod, who's the VP of Internal Operations, and David Williamson, who's the CEO of Titan here today. What is going on, guys?
What's up?
I am so excited you guys are coming on here. You guys have so many things going on. I see you guys on social media, and you guys are spending some time with us, the Solar Objection Group. Thank you so much.
So happy to be here.
Yeah, indeed.
So everybody watching, this is an opportunity to talk to David himself and Christy herself, Titan Solar, ask some questions. This is not just me interviewing them. This is all of us having a group conversation, but I will ask a lot of questions. I got a lot to ask. Like always, if you guys want your name shown, click on the bottom of the link on the StreamYards.com post and give us permission to show your name. We're just going to say Facebook user. So show your name, click on the link. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. And everybody watching, get in the comments, say what's up, ask questions. This is going to be a group conversation. And is that cool with you guys? Can I ask you guys some questions and kind of pick your brains about the solar industry and about Titan?
We don't know much about the solar industry.
No.
We'll try to answer them.
What industry?
We'll do our best.
That's not what I heard and what I've seen. What you guys are doing in the solar industry is amazing. But before we get into the solar industry, how did you guys get into, like David, of course, you and Christy, how did you guys get into even the solar industry stuff? What did you do before solar that got you into the solar industry?
You want to go first?
I'll go first. So actually, I knew David before I was in the solar industry, and I was selling plumbing and appliances at a wholesaler that's actually right down the street.
Right.
And it actually closed down. It's not there anymore. They
Too
only
bad
have
for them.
one location in Scottsdale. Anyways, so I was in sales, also worked at Lululemon for 3 years, but other than that, just did some coaching and went to college for a small amount of time. So always had a little bit of sales in me, and then saw David one time, a couple times. Well, so I was getting a spray tan at a friend's house, and he ended up being there because he was really close friend. He wasn't getting a spray tan.
You were both getting spray tans.
Yeah.
Chrissy was getting a spray tan.
He wasn't spray tanning. It wasn't a weird.
I was waiting for the couple.
I love the story already.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to go out because we were going to go out. My wife and I were going to go out with them and have a drink.
Yeah.
And Chrissy was the last spray tan customer of the day before we could go out. And they said, "Oh, Chrissy's coming over." We're like, "Chrissy who?" Chrissy is scared of. We're like, "Oh, how cool!"
Yeah.
So we got to see Chrissy that day, and that was the conversation that started on Chrissy coming over.
Dude, it's like, "What do you do now?" And I'm like, "Oh, I work in plumbing and appliances." He's like, "Do you like him?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." He's like, "I think you hate it. You should work for me." And I was like, "Okay," you know. And so I was like, "I gotta go talk to some people, see what I want to do.
Talk to your parents and see if you should work here." And they said no.
I was 26, and then I ended up making the dive into solar, and that's it.
Right.
So I've been here for 6 years.
How about you, David? Like, I don't know what you do even before solar. Just curious. I don't know if anybody's asked you that lately.
I was an in-home salesperson for a commission-only in-home salesperson for almost 20 years. I sold I sold cars first, and I worked in the restaurant business, then sold cars. Then I was selling water treatment systems in the home for like 7 years. Then I sold air conditioning units. I sold water treatment as my own company. I sold solar water heating, and eventually found my way to selling solar PV. And after selling solar electric for a little while, then eventually I met my business partner, Kyle, and we started Titan on March 1st, 2013.
Oh my God, that is amazing. I'm writing that down. Like, so how has it been, man? That's been an amazing ride. Like, how did you get to like today? Like, what did you take to get to where Titan is today? Like, it wasn't from the beginning, you weren't Titan to where you are today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we weren't, we definitely didn't start out as Titan. It was only just two guys trying to make a living, just trying to pay their bills. We didn't really
thought you could do it better than where you were currently.
I mean, yeah, I didn't like the way salespeople were treated at the previous company we were at. I didn't like the way installers were treated. I didn't like the way the office staff was treated. Everyone was underpaid, and no one really knew what they were doing. So Kyle and I worked there for from 2012. Like, I started in April, he started in June. We worked that entire year and realized, man, we could do it better if we had a contractor's license, which I got access to via my father-in-law, and a little bit of startup money to get leads and work home shows and get referrals. And we started selling. It was just Kyle and I for the first, from March 1st through the rest of that year. It was only the two of us all the way until like Memorial Day. That's when Heather started. And then you started shortly after that. So like, it was Kyle and I for almost 2 years, just the two of us, and having a handful of sales guys that knew us from the industry, that liked us. But how we got from there till today is a lot longer than the 45 minutes we have on Facebook today. It would take you.
SolarCon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, go to SolarCon. You hear the whole story on stage.
There you go. Facebook said, it was that canopy.
Was that canopy with the company that we worked for?
I guess so.
I would assume that's the question.
Oh, if someone's asking what the company was that we worked for, it was called Summer Wind Solar, and I don't think they're in business anymore. Thank God they're not in business anymore.
Yeah.
So as you're talking about that, you mentioned Crissy starting with you guys. What has Crissy meant to you guys since she started, and what has she brought to your company that's really made a difference?
I mean, I can go on and on about Crissy, but when Kyle and I were in business and we were starting to grow the company in a little bit of a way, we were still really small. We only had one install crew when Crissy got hired. I was a salesperson. I was also the sales manager, also ordering equipment and staging installs and still going out on installs. Kyle was doing everything to run the business, basically paying all the bills. He was still working in permitting at the time, but he was running the books essentially, which is a full-time job and always has been. And so I was doing too many things. I was operations manager and sales manager, and I needed someone who could come in and had personality and had something that you can't talk about. Like, the person who can do Crissy's job has something that no one can describe. She just gets it, whatever it is, the pronoun it. So I needed someone to come in and be I called him sales coordinator, but it was just a title to give someone. But she was dispatching the leads, and she was helping people close deals. She went out and sold herself. She sold the Goldbergs. Remember them? Yeah, they're with you forever.
That's
an inside joke. So she went out and sold, and she learned the sales process, and she would intake the deals. And from the beginning, when we were small, she was setting up the paperwork, taking the deal in, scheduling the site survey, ordering plans, you were taking care of utility. Like, she was part of every job because she was like the quarterback. And we sat in an office that had a bullpen, and everyone was within earshot. You could say, Thos, get the plans done. Alec, get this done.
Right.
So-and-so would get it was Candace at the time, get utility.
Commissions. And it was,
she was doing commissions too.
Manually doing everybody's commissions. And I remember sitting with Kyle every Friday in the morning, and he would handwrite the checks. And if I said, oh, this salesperson is getting paid, or the sales company is getting paid $6,000 this week, he's like, are you sure? What? I don't need you to prove this to me. And so I'd have to go through and I'd have it all written out of which jobs it was that they were getting paid on and why, and had to do everything manually. So it was a lot, and luckiest person in the industry, I swear.
Yeah, speak on that, because you could have hitched your on any wagon, and and somebody could have told you, hey, it would be great, but you got on a great wagon where you have a great leadership.
For a job in solar. I wasn't looking for a job in general. Like I was like, oh, I'm so passionate about solar. This is what I want to get into. Like, how am I going to do this? It kind of happened by chance, being at the right place at the right time, but also it was who I was in David's eyes to be able to trust me, and also for Kyle. And so that speaks volumes to them being able to see potential in somebody and really invest in them. And I couldn't be more grateful for that.
I have a bunch of more questions for you guys, but we got some in the comments, so I'm going to jump in there for a little bit really quick. So we got a couple excited Facebook users said, I'm tuning in.
Hello, Facebook users. Say
Another one said, hey.
Hi, so we can say hi to you.
Another one said, badass.
Oh.
All right. So we got a couple of questions here really quick. This is for both of you, whoever wants to answer. Facebook user who wants to know, what advice would you have for a new installer?
That's a good question.
That is a great question.
A new installer, I would say, if it's relative to what exactly the question is, what advice for a new installer? I'd say know the install process. A new installer, the owner of an install company can hire a crew and then call themselves an installer. But if they haven't done the job and they don't know how long a 5 kW should take, how long an 8 kW should take, they don't know what roof attachments go on a tile roof versus a shingle roof versus metal, and the speed at which those should go, they're doing themselves a disservice. So if for a new installer, if it's an install, the head of an install company, go out and do the job. Don't just like hire a crew because you used to be a VP of sales at some place at Vivint one day, and all of a sudden you're going to start a company because you have a little bit of money saved up from all your sales. Go out and actually do the install work so that the installers respect you. If you're a brand new installer getting in the industry, like you're trying to go from roofing to solar, learn from the guys that have been around a long time. Take all their best practices. A new installer who's actually doing the job, try to operate and install as fast as humanly possible on the job, obviously in the safest possible way, because speed on an install crew gets you attention from the install company.
Right.
And you might sacrifice some hours at first, but if you can say, look, we did our 5 jobs for the week, we did them in 25 hours, but they were all 8 kilowatt jobs. Didn't we earn a bonus? And then you'll get bonused out for that. Install companies really appreciate installers that try to get off the roof really fast because there's less liability and they're off the road quicker. They're back home. They're hanging out with their family quicker. And sometimes an installer thinks they're going to sacrifice hours and pay when they shouldn't think that way. They should get paid for the job that's done. And we have always done that. We pay our guys a bonus if they hit a certain amount of KW in a week. Doesn't matter how many hours they work. You want to work 20 hours, but you do 40 KW, I'm going to pay you like it's 40 hours.
Hell yeah.
You work 40 hours, but you install 50 KW, I'm going to pay you a bonus for the 10 KW over that. So having done install for a couple of years straight, every single day, waking up at 4:30 a.m. in the summertime to get out there before the heat, I have an appreciation for what installers go through. So, I mean, not to brag, but I get it.
That's our leader.
That is a great question and great answer. That's awesome, man. You're dropping some nuggets. This is from experience too. We got a couple more comments here. Somebody wants to say hello. Hello from El Paso, Texas.
Hello,
what up?
Beautiful.
Love El Paso.
You got some more fans here. You guys are the best.
We do agree with that, though. That's true.
I agree too.
Let's heart that, or whatever the kids do.
Like that comment.
Like the comment. That's it.
All right. We got another question for you guys. Let's get into it. This one could be for Christy, but either of you guys can answer it. Facebook user wants to know, how did you all generate most of your leads in the first year?
Well, in the first year, that would be you, but I would be able to talk about purchasing.
The first full year, we got leads from.
So actually it was like my first couple days on the job that David was like, okay, you need to figure out, here are these different lead companies. You need to figure out which lead company we're going to go with. And you need to interview them, ask them whatever questions you think, and pick the best one and tell me why. And what did we use? CEE,
Clean Energy Experts.
CEA,
Clean Energy Experts was bought by Sunrun, so I think they still own them.
Okay.
And then Clean Energy Authority.
And then there was
another one,
the green one. with the guy,
Green.
Colin, it was his name.
Oh yeah, it turned into Wave Solar, I think.
Yeah.
So we had lead providers that we bought from on a bid basis,
Right.
And the bid price was cheaper at the end of the month because
Right.
people spent their wad in the beginning of the month. But we got a lot of leads from working home shows.
Oh yeah, we would go and set up home shows. I wish we had the picture of us right now.
I probably could find it.
Yeah, we would go and we'd set up at the home shows for all of the. We had inside salespeople at the time, obviously, and I just remember my first interview with one of those lead providers, and I go to them, I'm like, yes, we should buy from this company. He's like, okay, why? And I go through and I'm, reading
Because they
notes.
give you the money back if your lead wasn't good. And all that.
Well, no, and you said to me, so what happens if they fail credit? And I'm like,
do we get our money back?
That is a really good question. So I had to, and he's like, well, what about, if they don't show up for the appointment, or what if they, all of these different questions. And I was like, I'm going to get back to you. And I can't tell you how many times I went back to those companies and ended up having to re-ask those questions. And so it was a lot by failing, but we purchased them, and yeah, we did home shows. So that's the long answer to the question.
Can you talk about how that's evolved to now? What do you guys, you don't have to talk about exactly, how you generate leads, but like, how's that evolved over time to what are you guys doing now with leads?
I mean, today we don't do leads because we don't have internal sales.
Yeah.
We rely on sales partners and sales companies to go out and get the business.
Yeah.
We support our sales companies with an aggressive red line, to be honest. Like if we can price our turnkey cost of install really, really low, and we can give them a bigger profit margin, they can take that money and they can find ways to generate leads, and they can choose the best path. If we went out and bought leads and said, here, we're buying these leads,
right
here, and we provided them, every salesperson is going to go,
the leads suck.
The leads suck. They always think they suck. But if they
so true.
if they buy their own leads and they think the leads suck, we don't have to feel guilty about that. I'm actually looking for a picture of us at a home show. I still can't find it. But we don't want to have the responsibility of possibly upsetting our sales partner by providing them leads and a bad red line.
Right.
Because that's what happens when you provide leads. You can't give them the aggressive red line. And then you have to start managing, okay, I handed you that lead that I thought was good. What did you do with it? You didn't sell it. And we called the customer 2 weeks later and found out it's sold through some other company. And that guy took the lead and went over there because he got a self-developed commission on that other side. So we see a lot of problems with managing leads and, having to, pray for someone's integrity to kick in when they run the lead. So we give them a super aggressive red line. Most of the time, I mean, I can't tell you, it's probably every single deal. A sales rep or sales company makes way more margin from red line to top end than we do as the installer, which is fine. We make single digit net margin, but we realize it's not just the rep who's making this massive rip. There's several layers. There's management, right. There's payroll, there's leads, there's hats and shirts and company culture that they provide.
Paper copy companies.
Was that?
I said paper copy companies. There's a lot of people that need to be paid through that.
Right. So, oh my gosh, this is gonna be great. Thank you. Someone walked by Chrissy's office and heard there's a picture of, that's how old Titans, but look at that. What a crappy home show booth. That's when that's just Kyle and I.
Look at that logo.
Look at that. New Times Roman. There we go. Thanks, Indiana.
Great to me.
Yeah, that was those were dark times. It was black.
Was that 6 years ago?
No, that's like 9 years ago. That was like the first year of it. That was before Crissy. That was a red shag carpet in that black and white photo.
I love that.
Yeah, got that right out of a porn studio. Not really. It's a joke. It was just shag carpet.
Oh, sorry. Man.
There's actually a perfect question that found that one up from another Facebook user, if that's cool with you guys.
Yeah.
So Facebook user wants to know, what is your best advice for a new Titan dealer? What would you say, like the best way to have them start with success with you guys?
I would honestly say that as starting with a new Titan dealer, getting the relationship with your partner relations rep that you end up getting paired up with, and then coming into the office and meeting all of the people that are going to be working on your deal and talking with, we're here every single day for the most part. And unless like David's traveling to go meet with the sales team or whatever, and creating that relationship, like you guys can't see the front of our offices, like mine and David's office, but like there's windows, like you can see through them. So you can see, and you can walk right into our office and create that relationship and talk about where are you guys growing? What are you guys doing next? What are your best markets? You know, and so I really think that creating that relationship with an installer is the best advice that I personally could give to a new dealer, because I like to be able to talk to them and be real with them and let them know, like, we do care about your deal. We do care about your business. We want to help you grow. And I think that's super important for every new dealer to know, especially within Titan at this moment. Like, we love those relationships.
I agree with that. It's not supposed to be transactional where someone says, here's a deal, go install it, give me my money. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to understand the process a little better. A new dealer should want to learn and grow with Titan. And I don't like it, but I would want a dealer to not reference Titan as the installer, as opposed to their installer. When we tell people, the reason why we have, and if people have been here before, we have a nice office in the front, but when people recruit and go to one of our offices, even nationwide, our offices are decorated very similarly. We want a dealer to come into whatever their local office is and tour their recruits or their potential new sales reps and say, this is my install office. This is our install office, not this is the Titan office that we send our business to. Like, they're supposed to reference us as their personal installer, because we are. If new dealers show up on their jobs, the crews get to know who they are. The crews come back and go, hey, man, that dude from ABC Solar is awesome. He brought me pizza every time. I'm starting to get fat.
He's dope.
Right.
Yeah.
So that connectivity is really important to us, but we try not to push it. We recommend it, but we can't tell someone how to be cool, right?
Right.
Be cool.
Just advice.
It just makes the owner's experience better, right? Just coming from kind of one source, though. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
All right, we got so many more questions here, man. So we're gonna keep on going. If that's cool with you guys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, so this is a female question. So I think this one's for Crissy. Facebook user wants to know, what advice would you have for a one-woman show? I have my own office, my own marketing, closing consistently, but very alone and afraid of relying on others because I've been burned so much. Using one small install company, afraid to change and become bigger because each time I've tried, I get taken advantage of. I feel bring females and make it more challenging for me, if you got that.
You know, I really think that finding somebody that can mentor you and that's in around about the same space that you have, that you can trust, is a big deal. And honestly, for this person, like, I would love to mentor you and be able to talk with you and help you build whatever it is that you're looking to build, because I think that in this space, it's really difficult to get your name out there and to show that you can be trusted. And I think that your work is just going to show that. And I hope that if there's anything that I've done and can do for you to help you grow to get your organization to where it is that you need to be, like, I would love to do that for you. And I'm more than willing to do that. So just so you know that.
What a great answer. Great. How about that?
That was amazing. She said, aw, heart, thank you.
Like that comment. Love that comment.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wanted to ask you guys a question really quick because it's the new year. It's 2022. You know, you guys have been in business for many years. What's now going on? What's like the last couple of months been like since the new year has started?
Been pretty boring. Nothing exciting has happened with us and any of our sales partners or any of our bigger partners. Nothing really happened.
That's not what I heard through the grapevine.
Oh my gosh, the grapevine spelled legacy, because it sounds like it.
I mean, you could talk about that if you wanted to.
The biggest thing for us in the last couple of months is that we respectfully and kindly ended our relatively long-term relationship with Legacy Power, and they decided that they wanted to go into the install business. And we just said, if we're doing the install and you're doing the install, we're doubling up on efforts. So we think you guys should just go and do it all by yourself. And so the biggest news of this year has been our departure from partnering with them. Yeah.
Yes.
And so far it's actually been pretty great. We don't have any bad blood. There hasn't been any issues. There's certainly individual reps are doing things like trying to flip deals like one would expect. And we're trying to catch those. And we're having open dialogues with them. You talk to them once a week about how we're winding down the pipeline. We want to pay out all the jobs as they're supposed to be paid. We understand that in the solar industry, commissions for reps as they leave organizations sometimes are withheld, and sometimes they're withheld for good reason because they have a backlog of clawbacks, and sometimes they're withheld because people are just, screwing each other over. Like the last comment from the gal that said she got screwed over by a couple of people. Yeah, if you're in the industry long enough, someone's going to screw you over.
Yeah.
We don't do that. So we're going to pay out all the jobs as they should be paid, as long as they go to fruition. And the ones that are being, pulled out of our pipeline and trying to be resold, we're going to try to catch those and stop those from happening, and take the normal course of action you would take when someone's trying to steal business. But so far it's been pretty amicable. I think we haven't had a lot of drama. There's been only a little bit. And it's once the entire pipeline is completely empty and there's no more checks written to each other, then we'll be in a full competitive mode. We will compete for their salespeople attention. They will compete for our installers' attention, and it'll be kind of fun, I think.
And operationally, just to speak of what the last couple of months has looked like. So since that all has happened, we've been able to really take a deep dive into, what happened with us operationally last year and how we can better be for everybody and all of our new dealers, or just even our existing dealers, and make sure to earn business and fix the operation, make sure that we are ready for summer. And because what worked for us, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, operationally, doesn't necessarily work for what it is that we're doing now. So there is a big deep dive into that. And David's in, projects that are 8 days old saying, this is why Titan is slow, texting me.
First of all,
this is why Titan is slow. TST, this, and it's 8 days old, and the permit is getting to it. But we had engineering, and it's like a whole thing. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I know.
Why is this job sitting for one day when design was done? Let's get it submitted for permit.
It's gonna happen. I'm gonna get the permit submitted. I'm not gonna my team is gonna do it, but that's it's a lot of pressure to make sure that that we are making sure our operation is ready for everybody and for the summer. Because now that we've been at this for however long, let's freaking go. It's go. Time, and so we want to dominate the industry even more so. And now has been the time that has been really great for us to focus on that and do that.
Right.
Can you talk about the challenge of growing so fast? Is there certain negatives that comes with that, or is it just all it just goes well as you can grow because you've delegated right, or you've done the right things?
A lot of it comes from trust. I say that we owe a lot to our partners and dealers for trusting us through the hard times of growing so fast, because there were a lot of pain points, and we wouldn't be here without the loyalty of those people. And we wouldn't get to number one like we did without them. So I think giving them a shout out to being loyal through all of those pain points is a huge thing. And
sales companies that stick with us through the growing pains, they earn a certain spot in our minds, and we appreciate that. We have to trust. It's not just trusting the sales partners to be cool.
Look at that. After listening to you,
I'll read it out loud for you guys. After listening to you both, there is no question why you are the pinnacle of success in the solar industry. Thank you for sharing your story today.
Oh, will you message my my mom back and tell her I said thank you for that?
There was another comment that goes with you too that says they're acting like a married couple.
He's like my dad, so that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm way older, 48. I'll be 49 next week. How old are you?
32.
Yeah, not close.
Not even close. All right, you got more questions and comments, guys. I really appreciate you. We have a few more minutes here with you guys. Actually,
already? Wow.
Okay, so first question, actually a really good question here. I don't know why I didn't think of myself. This might be for David, but how did you come up with the name Titan?
We were at lunch. Kyle and I were at lunch, and we were at Postino in downtown Gilbert, and we were talking through names of solar companies, and we didn't want to do the bad solar name, which was, green, sustainable, renewable energy systems, or, solar solutions, sunspot, nothing like that. And nothing regional too, nothing Arizona, nothing Southwest solar. So we were talking through it. And Kyle goes, what about Spartan? And I go, Spartan Solar. I like Spartan. Spartan sounds cool. It sounds strong. So I look up, grab my phone, and I look up Spartan. I hit images, and it's a bunch of dudes wearing very little clothing right here with a Mohawk helmet. And I'm like, I don't know about Spartan. That's not cool. Plus, I'm from Michigan and I'm a U of M fan, not a Spartan fan. So I'm like, I don't know about Spartan. He goes, what about Titan? And then we look up Titan. I'm like, yeah, Titan sounds cool. Titan was a Greek god, and Titan's one of the moons of Jupiter. And it just sounded strong, Titan. And we're like, okay, well, we want solar in the name because every marketing company, if you're marketing anything, you should have what you do in the name. So we want Titan Solar. And then instead of Titan Solar Renewable or Titan Solar Systems, we wanted to end it power, and it sounded strong. Titan Solar Power sounded strong. And so we kind of just were brainstorming, but Kyle gets all the credit for coming up with the word Titan as the start of it. Yeah, good job, Kyle. He's not listening to this. He's over at his office.
Oh, he's not at this point.
Right.
First couple minutes, maybe.
But Kyle came up with Titan, and the solar power just kind of went with it. So that's how we got the name. And I think it's cool. And it is cool. I don't know if it's going to be like the name that carries us. If we ever became publicly traded or had to come up with some weird corporate name, it'll sound like something like Synergy or some weird name like that. But I like Titan Solar Power if we get to keep it. But there's a lot of Titans. There's Titan Roofing, there's Titan Alarms, all that stuff.
I think it'll stick. You've grown into it pretty good. You guys are Titans of the solar industry for sure.
You like it? Yeah.
Wow.
All right, we're gonna keep on going. Appreciate you guys. All right, so Josh King, somebody wants to show the name finally.
Oh, hi, Josh.
Josh. Probably something horrible.
If you guys know, Josh King is a virtual solar sales trainer, and he is curious about your thoughts on how virtual solar sales will affect the industry.
Well, virtual solar sales has already affected the industry because of COVID last year. People dove into it not knowing if it was going to be successful or not. And virtual solar sales I think it has a higher cancel rate than the in-person sale because it's really easy to say no to someone over the phone or over the internet. But because solar is becoming more accessible for people to understand via Zoom calls and via graphics that you can show them or proposal tools that are more interactive, like Sonobi is a proposal tool that's super interactive. A person can actually manipulate the slider to see their savings. I think that virtual sales are going to be, I don't know if it's low-hanging fruit, but it just seems like a more effective way to do it if you have the ability to get in front of someone. The downside of virtual sales is that you have to have someone to actually talk to. You have to market, and you have to get someone to click through to get access to that person. The beauty of door-to-door, and the thing I like about door-to-door, is that a person can wake up in the morning and say, I'm feeling motivated today. And if I knock this many doors, and if I have this right mentality, and I go from these hours to these hours, this number of people will say yes to an appointment. And if I show up to those appointments on time and I do a good job, this number of people are going to say yes to a sale. And this number of people are going to stick through on the pull-through rate. So virtual sales are fantastic for getting like volume of deals because you can visit with 6 to 10 people a day, I suppose, if you're doing virtual. But you have to have the means to pay for the leads to get in front of all those people.
Well, not only that, I think that it's important to make sure that you're working with your installer or your fulfillment partner to make sure that, because it seems like the virtual solar sales, everybody's looking for the cheapest route to go, right? And usually those are going to be in rural parts of Mississippi or wherever those rural parts are.
Not a lot of salespeople that live in that area,
right? And not a lot of places where installers are going to really hang their hat. So I think it's important to make sure that you're working with whoever your fulfillment partner is to plan on like, hey, how's it going to look in this part? And
we need a site survey immediately on this customer because they did a virtual sale. They need to see something happening right away. So if I did a virtual close on a Monday, I need a site surveyor out there on Wednesday. So they see, oh, something's happening. I didn't just do some virtual sale where I ran my credit up here and committed to a $40,000 contract. Right. Someone showed up and stuff is moving. Something's happening.
Yeah. So I agree with that for sure. So that goes back to the relationship portion of who your partner, who your fulfillment partner is.
But it'll affect the industry in a positive way because there should be more deals closed via virtual because you can see more people faster.
Right. Agreed.
I see positivity there. Let's add more ways to get homeowners solar on their roof, right?
Right.
And help installers grow.
Yeah. So speaking of installing for homeowners on their roof, sometimes things don't go according to plan, right? And for me, what always worked is always really communicating with the homeowner. what do you guys think? Do you think as long as you have really good communication, if things go awry, you can still have really good customer satisfaction? What do you think is the most important part of making sure customers are super happy, satisfied with their experience?
100%. I think that, again, I'm just going to go back to the relationship thing. If you have a relationship with your installer and you have somebody that you can clue into, they're going to have the connections within their organization to make sure that that's addressed and the customer is taken care of immediately.
But the communication with the homeowner, specifically, the best person to talk to the homeowner about their solar project is the person the homeowner has connected with and chosen to buy from. That's the rep. So we can call the homeowner. Could we call every homeowner and tell them where their project is?
We could.
Of course. And if we did that 10 times during the pipeline process, all the way to PTO, we kept calling the homeowner saying, hey, this is Titan, this is Titan, this is Titan. They might have a great experience with us. After PTO, when they have a referral a month later, they're going to go, I need to call Titan and give that referral. And they're going to hand over to us a new customer that we're going to have to go out and sell. We don't have a sales force. If the rep is a professional, they're going to want to be the person to talk to the homeowner the whole time during the process. They're going to want to communicate to the homeowner everything. With the CRM that we have, the rep should be able to see exactly what's going on with every job all the time. The rep should always want to be the person who updates the customer every 7 to 10 days. And sometimes it doesn't take 7 to 10 days. Sometimes you can update the customer once every 2 weeks, depending on how involved they want to be in the process. But depending on the market, depending on the situation, depending on the scope of work, sometimes a customer gets installed in 14 days. In Vegas, we're installing in 2 weeks. In Denver, we're installing in 90 days at sometimes because of weather, because of jurisdiction, or Xcel Energy. There's a bunch of reasons why jobs take more or less time. But if the rep gives the right expectation to the homeowner and communicates properly, and then after the install also communicates, hey, if there's a problem relative to service, please contact Titan in this way through these means, and they'll take care of you. Do we ever have high call volume and we have customers on hold for 20 minutes? Sure. We have a lot of customers. We have 115,000 people in our database. But if they have the means to contact us through text message, through email, or even messaging on social media, which they do sometimes, we will get their system handled. We're the #1 contractor for Sunrun relative to service calls, aren't we?
We are.
We're the #1 in every single metric on service. And that's what
they love us.
I think that gets overlooked in our industry. People sometimes talk about Titan. Oh, you guys are slow, or this other little installer can offer me 10 cents less. Right. Who's going to take care of your customer for the next 5 to 10 years?
Correct.
Well, they've only been in business 1 year. Right. You have no metric for that.
Right.
And they're trying to get out of the industry right away by getting some kind of sale. That's not who we are. So there's a different experience there. But back to the question, the communication is the most important thing with the homeowner. Every homeowner can handle good news and bad news if they're told quickly and accurately. One of our install crews, last year we had install crews having to call in sick for COVID overnight. The whole crew has COVID. Well, yeah, they spent the last week together in the truck together. I'm sure they all have COVID at the same time. Call the homeowner. Our crew has COVID. We're very sorry. We need to reschedule your install for 10 days out because we're already booked for a week. Customer's like, I totally get it. When we no call, no show, that's a real problem.
That's when it becomes a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we reach out to the rep to say, please call the homeowner, and they don't respond because we thought they would want to be the one to explain it, we all look bad because we assumed you wanted to talk to them when you assumed that we would talk to them, and we're trying not to step on your toes because we don't want to hijack your referral business.
That is amazing. And that's a really good point. So, they talk about those customers who aren't, it's not the Solar Pro's fault. The customers are just not being, right. They're just being totally difficult. Right. So what do you do in those situations where this homeowner is just not, being nice back to you, or do you do anything extra for them? What is kind of your method for taking care of difficult homeowners, let's say?
We definitely attempt to make sure that we have the highest level of person reaching out to that customer, because there is a difference of when there is the director or this manager reaching out to them and they feel a different sense of importance. And I honestly think that our local branches do such a good job of making sure that the customer knows, I'm local, I'm here, I'm going to make sure that I see this through. I will be there for this. I will be there every step of the way you can drive down to our branch, and just a shout out to all of our branch managers, because we wouldn't be able to make it through any of those difficult homeowners and difficult situations without you guys. So
usually
I think that's great.
Usually an in-person visit from someone high up
Yeah.
on a local level appeases a difficult homeowner. Some homeowners are beyond difficult. There should be a better business bureau for consumers. Call it the crappy consumers consolidated or whatever. But we don't have corporation. Yeah. So it'd be nice to have that, but we can't say which customer is going to end up being the bad homeowner that you jump through all the hoops for and they still complain. Typically, it's the one that got the best deal. When I sold cars, whenever I sold them at invoice, I sold them below invoice. They were always coming back going, I want another cigarette lighter. I want high-speed formats and nice chrome. You're like, man, you stole that car from me, but you ripped someone's head off. Man, they love it. That's so happy. This isn't live, right? No one heard that.
No, nobody's listening. Don't worry about it.
Next question.
Next question. Dives under the table.
Moving along. We got more comments in the section here. Some more fans of you guys. A lot of fans out there. Facebook user wants to know. We appreciate having you as a primary installer here at Independent Solar Consultants in Temecula, California. Come down and enjoy the wine country one weekend.
That sounds awesome.
Okay, yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah,
ASAFP. 480-599-8686. Someone text me.
Just make sure you go live on the Solar Objections group when you do it, okay?
Right.
So great.
We got some heavy hitters.
I know. I got to lose weight.
That's not what they meant, bro. Come on.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
So great.
Shout out to Joe right here. He's doing a great job moderating this.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to thanks. Woo. Thanks for having these great guys on here.
Joe's literally thanking himself. That's why it says Facebook.
Jen Peace or Titan Solar.
We love Jen. Hi, Jen.
Yeah.
She works for us.
Okay, it looks like Shane Cowell has a question for you guys. Let me see here. All right. No, this is from person, but let's go with the question here. What's up, guys? This is another fan of you guys. What's up, guys? My company, Solar Match, puts 40 deals a month through Titan, all over the phone. No Zoom needed. Titan has done a great job over the last 7 months I've been with you. Thank you for everything. Good to see your faces.
How about that?
Thank you so much.
It's nice to hear something.
That gives me goosebumps. You have no idea.
It's cold in here too.
No.
It's not done, guys. We got more coming in. I got to make sure I get these comments out here. It's awesome. Titan is really good on making sure the customers are updated. Randy Deal Jr. Get us answers faster than we ask for them.
Randy Deal Randy Deal is the fastest person in partner relations.
Real time.
If you don't like your partner relations rep, ask for Randy. And tell us who you don't like Quaid. It's fine.
We got my peeps.
Yeah. Love it.
All right. We actually got a question here. There we go. David, we got a question for you.
Okay.
What is the market growth map look like by quarter this year? You don't have to get all into CEO stuff here right now if you want, but if you want to answer generally.
So we're looking. That's a great question. We're not doing it by quarter, but we are doing our market growth by state. And right now we have targeted the Midwest as our next growth market. So Ohio should be coming online for us very soon. Ohio, along with Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, all of those states. We're already licensed in Tennessee, but Wisconsin's coming as well. But we're trying to grow into the Midwest. There's companies out there that are doing really well in solar, but maybe not selling at the same price per watt that we might. We think that our growth could go really, really well in the Midwest. I'm from Michigan, so I'm excited about that. I met with Ben Bowen yesterday, and he's got licensing there, talking about doing stuff with him with Great Lakes Solar, installing solar on all the houses around Reeds Lake and Grand Rapids. So I'm excited about the Midwest, but we're not done with the states that we're in now. Arizona is our primary, it's our home. We are the #1 solar contractor in Arizona, but we're always losing market share to someone who's trying to undercut us on price, or promising the world to someone, or promising equity in their company, or something ridiculous that they're not going to live up to. We're trying to round out states like Florida, round out states like Texas. By next year, we should be the #1 solar contractor in Georgia, but we're not done with Georgia, even though net metering is over. There's still people that want to work that market. We are starting another office in Augusta. We're doubling down on Georgia, even without net metering, because we know it's going to come back. We're trying to round out Virginia, going up into Maryland. So we have a growth pattern and a growth outlook that's not necessarily quarter specific, but it's state specific as we jump from state to state. The Midwest, though, is going to be a big leap for us because there's no connectivity to places like Ohio. We're not just going to be able to drive up from the Carolinas to help Ohio out. So it's going to be a new plant for us, and we're really excited about that. Rounding out the Midwest is where I'm looking at. We're not looking at New York State. We're not looking at Connecticut on the roadmap right away. Oregon, Washington State,
Right.
Idaho, right? We could work with Idaho Solar.
Idaho,
we're coming for you, Idaho.
Where's Chelsea?
That'd be fun. Where's Chelsea? Who's that?
Chelsea Elise.
Yeah.
Chelsea, what do you know?
Never heard of
That is. She's going to be at SolarCon too. with
SolarCon.
Obviously.
Yeah, she's gonna be with me on stage.
A Facebook user wants to know, talk about the new incentives in Illinois, making it a no-brainer.
With the SRECs, and I mean, anything that has any market with renewable energy credits makes it a no-brainer financially for a homeowner or a rep to go into that market. The homeowner's going to save money. They're going to get a really inexpensive system. The rep's going to make money on their deal. It does take a lot. It is a big, heavy lift, no matter who we've talked to in those two markets, New Jersey and Illinois with the recs. Processing those deals is a little bit of a headache. I'll be honest, I have never had to process renewable energy credits. I don't know how they're traded. It's like Bitcoin. I'm not, it's true. We're trading renewable energy credits that don't exist. They either float in the
Or
ether.
NFTs.
Right, yeah. Ask me about NFTs instead. I got a digital monkey picture I'll sell you, like Snoop Dogg was selling for $500,000. So it is a no-brainer in those markets as long as you can process the renewable energy credits in the fast and easy way. And I don't think anybody does it fast and easy. Everyone complains about processing those deals, but it is indeed a no-brainer for the rep and the homeowner.
Okay, guys, we've been talking enough business, enough solar. I want to learn a little bit more about you guys personally. Maybe you want to bring out some of those Nikes you got, but tell me about some of you guys' hobbies. What are you guys doing besides solar? What you into? I know you guys are going to games. I see on social media. You got your podcast you're doing. Talk a little bit about that stuff.
I mean, we're doing stuff. The podcast is fun, and the podcast is relatively new, and it's about solar, but it's a lot more about having fun. So the Solar Buzz is our podcast we started, and we're doing it either at 10 in the morning, so we're buzzed off coffee, or we're doing it at 2:30, and we're buzzed off something else. So that's fine.
You're buzzing either way. You're buzzing, baby.
What are your hobbies, man? We've traveled before. You've traveled with me, Matt, and Dustin. And we travel as a group with your husband as well. Like, you like to shop when you travel.
I like to shop when I travel. I like to,
but we mostly
get some shoes.
But you're not playing tennis and badminton. You don't have a bunch of sport hobbies. You work out.
Like, go to the gym.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like,
it's work and shop.
Work and shop. Like,
it's work, shop, and family, but not that order.
Right.
It's shopping, work, then family.
Yes. We can get into that.
Obviously, I have a shoe collection. I like shoes.
Yeah.
Jordans. I'm like I said.
You got a pair? You got your favorite pair hanging around?
Well, it's not like it's impromptu. You asked me to bring it over here. My favorite pair are these. Everyone knows what these are. They should know. This is
I think I should show mine.
This is the Shoe Surgeon Cactus Jack TS Chicago expensive. They're made out of alligator and snake. They're the Shoe Surgeon shoes. I got the Cactus Jack logo on the back. Travis Scott shoes. So
Chrissy, mine are Amina Muaddi.
They're not as athletic, but they're pretty fancy. They smell like spray tan, right?
I love that.
A little bit.
So both of you guys are into shoes, right?
I'd say
definitely.
We got a shoe problem. We got a watch problem. I got
a watch problem.
I got a watch problem.
I can only do shoes.
Yeah.
You guys see you going to games too. You guys like sitting there.
We love the Suns.
We love the Suns. We got season tickets. The company's got season tickets on the floor to the Suns, row B and C. Crissy goes with me a lot. Her husband Justin goes with me a lot. But the Suns are having a great season, so that's a huge and super fun activity. Chrissy's gotten pictures with Booker and Mikal Bridges and DeAndre Ayton and all that because they're right there checking in, and we talk a lot of trash, but like in a respectful way. We have fun.
Yeah, and we cheer with with them, and
we're sitting right next to score.
We know what we're talking about when we cheer for them.
Yeah,
like,
the announcers all know who we are and stuff like that.
And people that sit on the floor, they're not really
they're all fashion forward. They're wearing their cool gear.
We're like,
There's always a third person in your social media pics, Mr.
Matt
Conwell. Can you tell me about him? Why is he always there in the background with you guys?
He's always it's my best friend. Easy. I got lots of best friends. All you guys are my best friends except Matt Conwell's probably my best friend.
Yes, you said it. You said it live, David. We're best friends.
He was my best friend.
That's my best friend. What are you talking about?
Somebody knows that you go to the gym, Crissy, and they put on here, if I get here, Crissy is a beast in the gym.
So sweet. Thank you.
All right, so we have a good question in the comments, and I'm gonna let you guys go. I know you guys don't have all day with us, and I appreciate you so much time here. First of all, Matt Cronwell said,
"Oh, Cron-Daddy,
there's Cron-Daddy right there. That's our guy.
What's up, Matt?"
I seen a TikTok with you guys. You said like you're the third amigo or something like that.
I think it was dumbass. Yeah,
it was dumbass.
Dumbasses, yeah.
Dumbass, but another dumbass. The dumbass trio.
Dumbass.
That's right.
It was something like that.
Yeah, we have a good dynamic.
All right, guys, here we go. We got a commenter with the best question of the day. So here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Facebook user wants to know if you could have a superpower of any competitor's EPC platform that you don't have, what would it be?
Wow. Who asked that question? And why would you be anonymous? That's a great question.
No, but a superpower of any other competitor's EPC platform. I think that if we could have one thing that someone else has, I don't know that anyone is doing it perfectly, but the door knocking and quoting platform together is something that no one has done yet. I don't know any EPC that has a perfect one. Our friends over at Sonobi, and they're the ones that are the furthest forward with the quoting platform, and the door knocking program is called Knock, right? We visited those guys.
Yeah, I believe that's what it's
Their
called.
Knock program is going to be a big, big deal. Of course, they're going to charge a lot of money for it, so don't just jump on board. It's going to be a ton of money per user, so hopefully you're selling really high price per watt if you want to be able to afford that thing.
Gotta need a low red line.
Yeah, gotta need a lower red line for Knock. But their platform is the most gamified. There's lots of cool platforms out there. Solo is still really good, just in case anyone from Solo is listening. Sorry, I'm plugging Sonobi. Solo is the best, is what I mean. Duality. But
they're talking about a superpower.
Yeah, the door knocking with quoting in one place is probably the best thing. We're trying to do it as well. We have a Titan Solar Power app that we're working on right now, but we tell everybody right now, it's a little bit clunky. We have a door knocking portion called Route. It lives within the app, and then you can go from Route, you can book an appointment, you can go and get a quote, but our quoting goes through Solo, which we love Solo. They do a good job and it's really fast and really accurate. But I think if someone can perfect those things, and no one has perfected the door knocking with quoting, everyone's still just plugging it into each other. Scott Hyde, he's going to figure it out, or Titus is, right? Yeah, Titus is going to figure it out. Scott's not going to be. Scott's going to try to sell it and do a terrible job.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if we were chasing after any other EPC's platform, we would lose focus as to what we're doing. And so I think that us just having confidence in our leadership and what it is that the vision is for that, I think that we're going to be unstoppable. So
no superpower.
No superpower.
Yeah, you had the superpower. You guys are doing it, obviously.
That's great. Good answer.
Facebook user said Quativa has it.
Quativa kind of has it. We've seen Quativa, and Quativa's cool. And I like Dallin over there. They kind of have it. The Sonobi is more gamified, but Quativa does do a really good job. It's a weird name. Like, take Quativa, twice daily Quativa to cure your plaque psoriasis. Maybe they could have come up with a different name instead of sounding like a prescription drug, right? How many milligrams should I take? Sorry.
Nothing like Titan.
Doctor before. Much love to Quativa and what you guys are doing. It's good. It's pushing everybody else.
All right, I'm not going to take much more of your time, but I got a big question for you guys. You know, SolarCon's coming up, and you guys have big plans going in the future besides that. What's next for you? Talk a little bit about SolarCon. And Mr. Williamson, you're going to be a headline speaker. I'm really excited to hear you. And then Miss Crissy Coonrod is going to be a keynote speaker. So I'm really excited to hear you guys. Do you want to give us a little heads up, maybe, about what you guys will be talking about a little bit, and also about what's next for you guys?
What are you going to talk about at SolarCon?
I'm going to be actually sharing the stage and interviewing with Chelsea Elise. So it's going to be more of a Q&A type thing. So it's going to be a lot more personal rather than me talking with a PowerPoint or anything like that. So I think you'll get a lot out of me, if that's like a weird question.
That's a weird thing to say. You get a lot out of me.
But it'll definitely be a lot more personal. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then what's next for me is just making sure that our ops are good for all of you and who end up choosing Titan to go with and grow your business with. So I'm here in case you guys need anything.
If anyone's going to SolarCon, they would use the code. What code would they use?
Titan 25.
Or
All right, guys. Since you brought it up, David, we got here everybody watching. You have access to Titan's 25% promo code, which is coming up, Titan 25. So go to attendsolarcon.com and put in Titan 25. You guys can get 25% off the price thing. That's awesome, guys. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I could do it.
So what am I going to talk about, though?
What are you going to talk about?
Yeah.
So I think Mike O'Donnell is the headline speaker. I think I'm second. That's all right.
So Michael O'Donnell is going to be the very first speaker at the very first SolarCon.
Mike's got to speak early because he's got to get out of town. He's got a prior engagement.
He has a wedding.
His daughter's getting married the next day, so that's why Mike's getting out of town right away. Otherwise, he'd be the whole time. I talked to Jake. Jake Hess, who's helping put it on SolarCon, and I asked him, what would you like me to speak on? Because I could speak. I even said during his podcast, I could talk about sales all day long. Having done in-home sales for 20 years, I've got plenty of stories. I could talk about installs all day long because I've got plenty of stories there. He suggested that I talk about my history in sales and the industry in general, like where I grew up, how I got where I am today, and where I am today is something that I don't take lightly. I was telling a story just recently yesterday with a dealer who was potentially going to work with us and talked about like where I grew up and how I grew up. And I'm in my house and I've got a decent house. I got a nice house, right?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right. And I'm trying to describe like how I grew up. And he's like, wow, you came from that and you're here. I'm like, yeah, but this isn't the goal. The goal isn't to acquire things or money or power or anything like that. The goal is to build the company until you can't build it anymore. What gets me up in the morning is wanting to grow the company so we can provide more jobs, more revenue, and every
security for homeowners.
Yeah, homeowners have a good system that's going to last for 20 years, and we could be there to back it up.
Right.
And we have reps that'll have a place to continually sell, where they're not just going, I'll bounce into solar for 6 months and see how that was. I don't want a rep sitting around the water cooler going, sales, it's a tough racket. No, I want them to be in this industry for a long time. I want the installers to have security. We've got installers been with us for 8 years now. Yeah. Juan's been here 8 years. So it's about providing more and more jobs, more and more revenue. And we're not looking to put anyone out of business. We're not looking to our competitors to go after them like the way that sometimes the industry is, where we're a little bit cutthroat going after each other. That's why SolarCon is going to be kind of cool, because we're not about going after each other. We're trying to promote our own businesses without slamming each other. There's enough business. There's enough roofs for everyone.
There is.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to go out of business. I just want them to all start selling AC units and get out of solar. That's all. Selling solar. We'll do the solar. You guys do something else. Yeah.
I'm also excited about the Titan VIP party going on at SolarCon.
Yeah, Friday night. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. We know how to throw a party. That's
Is it Friday night or Saturday night?
Friday night.
Friday night, baby.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Boom. Yeah, we're hosting that. We're proud to sponsor that. We're our old friends over at Fusion are the title sponsors of SolarCon, so we're excited for those guys. What's up, Fusion? And we wanted to contribute a little bit, so we're gonna host a little bit of a small shindig, right? Just the VIPs, anybody who shows up, really. All the speakers. I think there's like 175 speakers.
DM me.
Every third person is going to be a speaker at SolarCon. If you walk in, you get a ticket. You're
speaking. There you go. You're VIP. Good job.
You guys are called Titan. You don't take that lightly, I've noticed.
No. And if there's anything that anybody wants us to speak on, like, let us know, or let you guys know, and because we obviously want to talk.
You take shout outs on speaking. Sure. Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
This kind of format's kind of cool because you have Q&As. When someone can comment and say, "We talk about that. We talk about this."
Love that.
If they're interested in hearing our opinion on it. That's very honoring for us that someone even cares what we think.
100%. Hundo P.
Thank you so much for you guys taking your time to get on here and letting us pick your brain and kind of get into the mind of Titan. Before I let you go, if anybody wants to reach out to you, wants to work with you, just want to contact you, or any other last thoughts you want to talk to your audience about, anything else you want to leave off with?
I mean, the best way to contact you is through Instagram, right?
Yeah, message me on Instagram, and I'm not afraid to give out my phone number to make myself accessible to you guys.
I mean, that's the easiest way to reach out to either one of us. I mean, I've posted my phone number on the Solar Forum platform 3 times when people are complaining about TSP numbers, like, this one's not going fast enough. Well, yeah, call me.
Yeah.
And we usually get rectified. But reaching out to us on social media, if you have any questions, obviously someone can go to TitanSolarPower.com and click on become a dealer if they're looking for that kind of avenue. But we're not coming on this this Facebook Live thing to promote trying to recruit dealers. We're coming on because Joe, you asked us to, and or asked Chrissy to, and I was walking by and she said, you want to join in? So we're happy to share any knowledge we can, but we're not trying to promote ourselves right in this moment.
Right.
And that's a good point. That's the thing about SolarCon too. We're not having a recruiting event where everybody's trying to recruit each other. This is an event where we're just able to showcase ourselves and really have a camaraderie and a unification event. And Titan, you guys are one of the biggest reasons we're getting to have that happen. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for getting on here. I'm so excited to see you guys in person and hear you guys on stage. And guys watching, we are going to have another week next week with another SolarCon speaker, Mr. Brent Attaway, who is the Follow Fortunes guy.
Nice. Have fun, Brent.
Really excited about it. Okay, guys, Chrissy and David, again, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate you guys. See you guys, SolarCon. Titan25 for your promo code, guys. See you guys. Peace.
Thank you.
Bye. See you guys.